Mobile notary hacks, how to get your documents notarized fast, something that every notary should know. So, the name of the game with this whole notary business is you want to get as much clients as you can in a day while efficiently managing them so that you can get more money. If you're with one client for 2 hours, now you've just missed out on 3 or 4 potential clients because you've been with one client forever and it only takes about 30 minutes to do one client. So, these are tips and tricks that you can use so you can get in and out of those appointments fast. These are things that has helped me in the past and helped other people. So I would definitely recommend you check some of these out. Take screenshots if you need to. I'll break them down in finer detail so you understand. But the first thing is common docs. And this should go without being said. If you're a new notary, you're going to get to a point where you understand like, okay, I get a lot of POAs, or I get a lot of estate plannings, or I get a lot of loan signings. And if that's something that you get a lot, you need to understand like, okay, cool. If I get these documents a lot, I need to master these documents. So master these documents as much as possible. So by the time you get to the location, you can zip right through it. You're just checking their identification, doing what you need to do, and you're zipping right through it. But if you're not familiar with these documents, it's going to get to a point where when you're getting there, you're going to be trying to figure out what the document is on the spot. And you never want to do that. I remember in the very beginning, I think it was a loan signing or like a home closing. I was sitting there looking at the papers like, oh my gosh, I probably should have studied that. And I was out, I was in the parking lot. I said, one moment, went to the parking lot, went on YouTube, and I was here trying to figure it out. I'm like, oh gosh. But be prepared, because if you were prepared and you sat down in that chair, knowing what you were doing, you could knock out that job fast. It wouldn't take you any time. So the common documents, the most common ones that you know of in your area, you need to go ahead and memorize those, understand how they are. And as you do more reps, you'll be able to fly through it faster. So that is common docs. You need to know those. As far as your kit being organized, that's something that you need to make sure. By the time you go inside of your car, your kit needs to be organized. You need to have your folders in there. You need to have your pens ready. You need to have some hand sanitizer or a mask, depending on the person, especially if you're dealing with older individuals. And you want to make sure that you have their documents already printed. Your kit needs to be organized, and you need to know how everything is laid out. So by the time you get to the location and you get inside, everything's already lined up. You're not trying to scruffle through your bag like, oh, where did I put that? You don't need to be doing that, especially if you have multiple clients. You need to have everything labeled, organized in your folder, in your bag, whatever you like to use to carry around, and have it organized. Have it organized so you're not scrambling around and looking unprofessional. Because when you can zip right in there, look at the IDs, stamp it, give them some, a little bit of charm, the knowledge charm, I like to say, and get out of there, cool, they're going to love you. They might call you again, too, because you were in and out. You didn't overstay your welcome. So you need to be organized. Scheduling and communication systems, this is something really important, especially as you start to grow your notary business. Your scheduling, whether you use Calendly or Acuity or Zoho, Monday, whatever you're using to schedule your clients, you need to make sure that it's smooth and efficient as possible. Excuse me. And it's gathering all the data from those clients in that initial purchase that they're getting from you. Because when you have all that initial data, you're not having to ask the client for more things. And by the time you show up to the location, you have everything that the client needs. And you want to have everything ready by the time you get there. You don't want to get there and then realize like, oh, shoot, it's actually 17 stamps and not 3, which is I've been in that case before. I've been to a job that I thought was going to be like 1 hour, and I end up being in there for like 3 to 4 hours. So you want to make sure you know all these things up front before you even show up. Trust me on this one. Learn from my mistakes. Have all your stuff in your scheduling system complete, and it needs to be thorough enough to where when they fill it out, you have everything you need, but not thorough enough to a point where they don't want to fill it out because it's too much work. So you have to find an equilibrium. And as far as communication system goes, you need to make sure that you're answering that phone as quickly as possible so you can knock out those jobs, obviously. Ron, remote online notarizations, you guys need to do this if you haven't, just because I think the world is slowly going to start moving more and more towards doing a lot more things online. That being said, it doesn't mean that the mobile notary business is dead. I'm still making a great amount of money from this every single day. But it's good to be able to pivot if you need to in any last minute type of altercations or any last minute changes. So if the mobile notary business were to die off, you need to make sure like, okay, with these remote online notarizations, I know what I'm doing. I know how to do them, and I can get this job done quickly. And even with the remote online notarizations, if those clients upload the docs, check out the docs before you get into the call with them. Look at it, understand where to sign so you can do it in front of them. You need to understand this. You need to understand what documents you're looking at. And the beauty of it is they can upload those documents. You can take a quick look at it before you hop on with them, so that appointment can be as fast as possible. You're not in there just sitting all day trying to figure out, oh, where does my stamp go? You don't need to be, that's so unprofessional, y'all. Y'all don't need to be doing that. Like I said, I've done that in the past years ago. Just know where things go before you get there. Last minute ready. Oh my gosh. You need to have a ready bag, because what I've realized is just being able to provide services for clients within an hour or less is such a good selling point that it's going to stand you apart from many other notaries. What I've said in the past is, one, a lot of notaries suck because they're not good at their job, or they just kind of like half-ass it. And another thing is the notaries don't answer their phone at all. Notaries don't answer their phone. So if you're able to answer your phone within 2 to 3 rings, and you're able to complete a notary job within an hour or less, you're already going to put yourself in the top 10% of all notaries, working on your way to be in the top 1%. So you need to make sure that you have a last minute ready bag ready, having all the documents you need in the car, just in case if they ever call you to do a job in less than an hour, you can just hop in your car and go. You have your outfit ready. Your business casual outfit should always be ready somewhere in your closet. So that way, when somebody calls you to book you, boom, I'm putting on my outfit, boom, I'm out of there. So be last minute ready. Like Will Smith says, stay ready so you never got to get ready. Moving on, bundle services for multiple docs. Yes, you can do bundle services for multiple documents. Let's say that somebody needs to do estate planning. You can bundle that price together, and that'll probably include their power of attorney, their living revocable trust, their will. You can have all that stuff as a bundled service and just knock everything out at one time and just have that be one big payment. This might help to speed up the process, so you're not trying to see each document and like, okay, cool, I need to charge this for this and this for this and this for this. If you just have one good problem, one good bundle, just bundle everything together, knock out those documents, move on to the next thing. Moving on after that, we have mastering ID verification. This is something that's extremely important. Depending on your area, you know, there's certain documents that you can use. You can use a driver's license, but you can't just use a picture of a regular photo. And if you don't know all the things that you can use off the top of your head, then you're going to be wasting time. Because what if somebody gets you a military card? Can you use that? What if somebody gives you a passport? Can you use that? You need to know all the documents that you can use. So when you get to the location and they hand it out to you, you know, like, yes, I can use this. No, I can't. And going back to the original thing that I said here with scheduling, when you're scheduling and you learn how to schedule properly, you can ask about their ID ahead of time or even have them upload it depending on how you want to work it. But that's why this point right here was very important as well. But you need to master the ID verification in the just in case when you get to the location, it happens to be a document that you're unfamiliar with, you're able to tell them like, okay, I can use this or I can't use that. So master the ID verification. Strong communication skills. This is more like of a soft skill, but you need to be able to communicate with the clients effectively, especially if they're in there yapping. You need to be able to do your job and effectively talk to the client to give them a warm, comfy feel. Because you have to remember when you're doing these mobile notary jobs and you're in the house with these people, everybody's from a different background, a different culture. One thing that makes them more comfortable and want to work with you again, which is important, is the fact that you are warm to them. People don't always remember what you do for them. I mean, what you do for them or what you get them, but they remember how you make them feel. So those strong communication skills can make sure that that process of speaking to those clients goes smoothly and they want you to come back. And then last but not least, you need to have reasonable fees without underpricing. One thing I always tell students and one-on-ones is that when it comes to your fees, you don't want to be the cheapest person because you get the cheap clients, and everybody knows the cheaper the client, the more headache they give. Why it works like that, I don't know. And I also say to charge the clients up front so you don't have to worry about reasonable fees. But let's say that you're too shy to charge the client up front. When you get to that location and you give them a price, it doesn't need to be astronomically cheap or it doesn't need to be astronomically high. You should already have these prices laid out. So by the time you get to the location and you're talking to them, you can just say the price, say it with confidence, get your money, and go. But these are all the things right here. All of these will help you to just have a smoother process overall. And you want to be able to get in there and notarize those documents quickly and fast. Get out of there. You don't need to be in there forever. We're not trying to make friends. We're trying to make money. And if you make friends along the way, great. But that wasn't the sole intention. So get in there, do the jobs that you need to do, get your documents notarized fast, and get up out of there. The name of the game is getting as many clients as you can in one day without hurting yourself or lowering the quality of service that you offer to them. So make sure to take a picture of those tips. Hopefully some of those sit with you. Hopefully some of those were common sense, and hopefully you learned at least one thing from the video. If you did, my job here is done. But anyways, if you want some one-on-ones, mentorships, you can hop in the comments below into the description and click on that. I will go ahead and do some one-on-ones. I do a 4 to 6 week program, or if you just want a quick one-on-one call, do that as well. There's a free notary kit down there if you're new to the notary business, or if you're established or want some more tools. There's a free kit, 100%. Download that. Get what you need from it. Keep it moving. And there's also a paid bundle, which has even more tools. It has scripts, email scripts, it has phone scripts, things that I've used currently in my own business to help make money. So go ahead, check those out. If you like them, let me know. Any constructive criticism, I'll take that too. But anyways, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification. Peace, love, and your boy Knowledge is out.